Hey guys, this is Matt Cox here in Central Phoenix, and just wanted to talk about projecting, forecasting what's going to happen in 2023, especially in terms of inflation. Right? Remember, inflation was the justification that hey, we're going to go ahead and increase interest rates to slow the economy down, to deflate all the assets and all this stuff. Right? That was their plan, their master plan. Okay. The reality is this: anyone who can observe what was going on, okay, like what the elite in terms of the Fed and our politicians were telling us, right, when it came to inflation, it was totally caused by money printing, okay, and by the fact that huge swaths of the supply chain were shut down, and the reality is that's what caused huge parts of inflation in different sectors of the economy, especially when a lot of the energy supplies were getting tightened. Um, Anywho, that being said, the reality is this: low mortgage rates never cause inflation. And that is why it's so demeaning when they're literally gaslighting you to your face, telling you, we're going to increase mortgage rates to help the middle class. And it's like, you're not helping anybody. Like, it's just a ploy to basically, it's just a ploy. It's all a ploy. So I basically did this numbers. I got the numbers from Freddie Mac. It's kind of hard to tell. Dang it. But basically, if you look from 2012 to 2021, right? Mortgage rates were below 4.5. I think maybe one time. No, not a single time it went over 4.5. The rate of inflation, look, always below 2.5. For literally the past decade, you saw single digit inflation, sub 2.5% inflation. Mortgage rates were always below 4.5 for the last decade. Okay. It was so insulting when to your intelligence when they were telling you to your face that they're going to increase mortgage rates to help inflation. It's like, no, they basically killed every other asset class during 2020 and 2021. Cryptocurrencies crashed, stocks crashed, bonds crashed, and the only asset class that didn't crash was real estate. So where did all the investment money fled? It all fled to real estate. And lo and behold, since Phoenix was a hub of innovation and lots of super wealthy people now live here, they can just absorb huge parts of the real estate market with a blink of an eye. And sure enough, within 18 months of the end of 2020, you literally saw this enormous melt up of asset prices. Why? Because every other asset was underperforming. So if any other savvy investor is you withdraw your money from assets that are losers, right? And it's called stop loss, right? You're basically stop lossing all your other trades in stocks, in cryptocurrency, and everything else, and you put it on the horse that's winning, and the horse that was winning was real estate. So then, boom, you see this melt up, and it makes total sense. So, and then now they just crush the market by doing the rates. And in some ways, I'm glad they increased rates because it got rid of all. Oh wow, what is going on here? Who is that? Well, okay, there we go. So that being said, mortgage rates did not cause inflation. Okay, don't let them gaslight you. So where did it come from? Look at the national debt. It just goes up and up and up. So in other words, the money supply killed the value of your dollar. So basically, things are more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Well, we know why gas is more expensive. Like they basically cut the supply off. So now that's why a lot of other things went up in price. Now, as we go into 2023, this is what's important. In 2023, look, 6%, 5%, 4 by May, literally, we're back below 2% again. We're back to the historical average. Okay. The point is, by June, inflation is dead. And if you're looking to buy a house, I think this is not a bad time to look. You're going to have no competition at all. Everyone's way too freaked out about the economy. But literally, you do not remember what it was like 10 months ago. It was so insane. And the thing is, you're not going to pay for closing costs. You're not going to overpay for housing. You're not going to pay for appraisal. Probably you're going to like you're going to get repairs. You're going to get concessions, and it's astonishing. The only thing that's holding the buyer back now is an interest rate. And what happens when interest rates go back down? I'm telling you, it's going to be wild. What happens next? This is what happens. Okay, now Um, Normally, we're not really tracking real estate. We're tracking Wall Street. Okay, I think this is a good thing because now a lot of that money and froth that was basically going to real estate. Hopefully, some of those investors who are like, this real estate thing is too much of a hassle, they withdraw from the real estate market and they go back into Wall Street. So let's look here. Okay, when inflation is down, the average return in the market is 12.2%, and on all periods throughout history, whenever inflation has been down, the stock market has had an up year. So when inflation is down on a year, the preceding year, you're going to see appreciation in stock market assets. That is a good thing. If inflation is going down, now people are going to reposition their assets to go back and to buy some of these stocks again. And I'm hoping that these investors leave the real estate market and go back into Wall Street. Now, this one, oh, dang it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Shoot. Basically, this one basically says the same thing that I'm going to read it. It's really good data. So, yeah, here we go. The January return, right? We have a 5% January return. And the previous year was a negative. The full year return the next year was double digits. So, if the previous year was negative, but the January year was up, then the remainder of that year is also going to be double digits. So, for instance, what this chart on the below is saying is because 2022 was down, and now we're seeing job cuts. We're seeing slowing inflation, but we also see low unemployment. Right, with low unemployment, decelerating inflation, and we see a jump in stocks in January. They're projecting, hey, listen, we're going to see double-digit growth on Wall Street in 2023. So hopefully that pulls some of the other investors out of real estate, so that way it gives some room for the middle class to get back in. So that is it. Inflation was not caused by low interest rates. Inflation was caused by the money printing in 2020, 2021, 2022. It was also for the fact that every other asset was a loser, and a lot of investors put their money in real estate. And then that being said, now that we see inflation decreasing, that is really good because now we're going to see growth in 2023. I believe we're going to see growth in the stock market in 2023. I believe we're going to see growth in the cryptocurrency, and that's hopefully going to pull a lot of investors out of the real estate market, so that way that gives rooms for the middle class to get back in. That being said, if you're interested to look for houses under $400,000, click the link below. You're going to be able to get your interest rate bought down, closing costs bought down. You're going to get your appraisal paid for, your inspection paid for. Literally, the only thing you're going to need is a down payment. And there's lots of houses under $400,000 now. And if you click that link below, you're going to go through the survey. It'll give you the list at the end. Click that list and bookmark it. Then there's also residential multifamily, duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. Click the link below if you want the list of all the properties in the Phoenix metropolitan area as well. So lots of great assets on sale, lots of motivated sellers. Guys, just 10 months ago, it was a bloodbath out there. I'm telling you, if you're in the long game and you plan on living in Arizona the next 5 to 10 years, now is a great time to accumulate assets that everyone else is afraid of. And trust me, we'll run the numbers. We'll make sure that it makes sense. You're never going to be put in a position where you're not going to make money. Okay? We'll make sure that you're always going to be making money. So, alrighty then, guys. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.